Yes, 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 yes. It is what it is. It is what it is. Cameroon going to play the third place match. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I told you, Larry. I told you, Basil. I said if you did not score in this full 90 minutes, you guys will be in trouble. They all standing in by. I have Larry standing by. Basil is ready to go. I know they're all disappointed that they couldn't make it up to the final. So we have Salah versus Mane of this encounter AFCON 2021. This is going to be explosive. All Cameroonians, they are all disappointed. What a shambolic performance. They couldn't even have a goal. Larry, I'm so sorry. Wherever you are right now, just keep it safe. Be safe out there. I'm going to bring you in without. Let me bring Basil in straight up. Let's do this. Oh, Basil, it is what it is. Basil, can you hear me? That's
Yeah,
our
I'm getting you.
correspondent
I'm
from
getting you.
Cameroon. Yes. What's going on? I can see we're on the same page right now. It's so
No, you
disappointing.
can never say you're on the same page. We are not on the same page.
I know, I
People
know.
went home. Yeah, you went home earlier.
Yes. It's so I'm sure all guys there will be disappointed. I know they
Yeah,
will be disappointed. Let me bring Larry in as well too. Larry, my friend, my brother. It is what it is. Cameroon out. They couldn't make it to the final. It's unfortunate. I don't know what to say, but I know you have a lot to say. But let me start with Basil because he's standing in by, still in the stadium right now. They are all angry faces. They are all down. So Basil, what's going on? What's going on? What's your take?
it's really a sad day. It's a sad day. Everyone, imagine us, journalists, especially journalists from Limbe, southwest region of Cameroon, where we travel all the way to be here, knowing that we're coming to make history. But it turns out the opposite way. It's really a sad day here. Cameroonians are not happy with the turnout because it was a game that we believe we were going to carry it.
Yeah.
Because we dominated very well, especially in the first segment of the game, where we dominated really well. They failed to be clinical in front of goals. And at the end, this is what cost us. Imagine a situation where you have three substitutes coming in to help revive the team, but instead they help to sink the team. It's really a very sad one. You have Mukudi, a very poor penalty from him. Can his act is really a sad day for us Cameroonians. You need to have seen just after the second miss, Cameroonians started leaving the pitch, started leaving the stadium. So you can imagine how the situation is. It's really a
Wow.
very sad one here.
Wow. Wow. Larry, I'm coming to you right now. You said you went out to go and watch the match. So how are you feeling, bro?
Senegal, oh yeah, Senegal.
Oh my goodness. So it is.
You know that I never lose. I never lose. I change cam immediately. I change cam.
Oh my God.
Listen, it is what it is. Like you always say, very well. The defended title, we missed several opportunities, and you know, it's now a game that is gone into history that Egypt beat us again in the AFCON. Now listen, I want to tell you this. The Egyptians came with a game plan. The game plan of
Yeah.
the Egyptians was not to concede a goal, was not to
Yeah,
get a goal
absolutely.
during normal time. In fact, they played the game to take it to penalties. They didn't play the
Yeah.
game to win during the game because they know they could not. So they played the game to take it to the penalties. Egyptians actually have practice sessions only for penalties. They have a penalty training session, and that is the strength of the Egyptians. You cannot beat them during penalties. You cannot beat them during penalties. and I was just crying. I was just once they went to penalties, I told my people I was watching the game with. I said, "Listen, we've lost this game. Egyptians don't lose during penalties.
Penalty.
You
Yes.
will score them, but they don't miss their penalties. They are experts in penalty shootouts because they actually train. They have training sessions for penalties. The way Cameroonians kick the penalties today, you just realize that they do not have any penalty training. In fact, they did not even see this game going to penalties at all. So they
Penalty.
did not
Absolutely.
even train for it because it's so disappointing how a professional will come and kick penalties like this way. It is unbelievable. That Mukuji who came in, Mukuji came in and in fact he spoiled the game. A game that were pressing. He came and he was just putting all the balls to the bush. We are trying to get pressure into the Egyptian side. He was just sending all the balls away, and bringing pressure back to us.
Mm.
And this game, the game that comes the playing, always sending the ball behind. I've said this thing times without number that this is what's going to kill us. Sending the ball
Mm.
behind. When we send the ball behind, the Egyptians are happy because that's
Yeah.
what they want. They want us to play in our camp. They don't want us to bring it to their side.
So
And
that's
when we
right.
don't
Yeah.
bring it to their side, their game plan is working. Their game plan is working. And this is it. This is it. Now we are back in the walls and we are going back to the drawing board. But I want to say that listen, the boys gave in their best. They gave in their best. They did not score them during the normal time. We didn't score. But I always say this penalty it's a 50-50 chance. Penalty shootout is a 50-50 chance. 50-50 chance. I usually don't condemn teams that play until they go to penalties. That's why I do not condemn Cote d'Ivoire. I do not condemn Cote d'Ivoire at all because it was penalties. I do not condemn the other teams that went out during penalties because Egypt actually beat these guys. It was on penalties. Cote
Yeah.
d'Ivoire was on penalties. And so I do not condemn teams that go out by penalties because they did their best. In the field of game, they gave in their best. So this game, I would say kudos Cameroon. It just happened. It was unfortunate. They do not make it. It's okay. They should go back to the drawing board and now try to get a reliable bench because our bench was not reliable at all. Whoever they brought in the bench did not bring in anything new. In fact, they did not up the game. They did not up the game at all. They instead helped to kill the game.
Mm-hmm.
A replacement, a tactical. And I told you this earlier. The Egyptians played tactically. The changes were technical changes that the Egyptians made. The Egyptians played technically. Just from the second half, the Egyptians took
Yeah.
the game. Why? Because when we came into the second half, we saw the coach. The coach made two changes. He brought in two players with fresh
Two
blood, and
players.
the game
Yes.
changed. The first half, we dominated. The first half, we dominated completely. And we had to score like two goals in the first half. Open pole, like clear goals. But it did not happen. You look at it now when the second half, they brought those two players. And then what happened now? They just took over that second half. Second half was mad. And then now, you see the changes that they are making. They are bringing in players that their intention was just to hold the ball,
To hold the
and
ball.
take possession so that they can wind time and go to penalties. Look at what they were doing. Another strategy that it was that they keep falling left and right. They listing they are on the floor. They are breaking the game. They are killing the momentum of the game. The momentum of the game was being brought down significantly. Each time we're attacking, mounting pressure, one player will just go down. For what? I think FIFA needs to bring in a new rule that they will come and test you in the field. If there's nothing wrong with you, they give you a yellow card for just falling down unnecessarily. It's terrible how these guys play their game. Well, it's a game strategy. However, what it is has been done. What has been done has been done. Kudos to Egypt, but now I'm Senegalese. My name now is Sergio Larry.
Larry Senegal. Hey, Larry Senegal. Umbuye, I'm coming back to you now. Basil, you still there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah, I know. What do you think should have been done? Uh, the coaches, I mean, the coach, the crew couldn't see. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, your expectation was like something. Maybe there should be a few changes, or what are those things you think, from your own point of view, should have been done or dealt with,
Yeah,
particularly
I
in
think
this game?
Yeah, I'll start by the fact that we feel to the changes were really really poor. Changes were poor because I think I was expecting that someone like Zambo Anguissa was supposed to have been substituted, but you saw him continuing to play, whereas he wasn't productive. You also look at Mumingamale being substituted, so it doesn't make sense. Taking out somebody like Mumingamale, who is a sub, that's the only person that was like really mounting pressure, going forward and coming back,
Mm.
and it was really really vibrant today. But even immediately when they substituted him, the game was still not the same. And then also when Castelletto came out, I think that was when we had another issue.
Yeah.
Mukuti came in, and the game wasn't fluent the way it was. You know, him coming in, not being there, I think it took a lot of time for him to like get into the game, and that cost us so much. We're looking at the level of the penalties. Those are some of the issues that are really. And then you look at you ask this question: was it really necessary to bring Jay Clinton and Basogo? Was it necessary to bring these two guys? Because the change is the substitution so far has been the one that these two guys always come in the wings, and so far they have been coming, they haven't been productive. So at
Mm.
least it sets a question mark. Having substitutions, come bringing in three players, and all these three players coming in, and yet they are like they are the one that missed the penalties. Three substitutes missing the penalties. So it asks, you begin to ask them, what was the coach really thinking? Also, look at the situation of look at the situation of keeping someone like Chupomoting out. That's
Yeah.
also a very good penalty taker. Chupomoting should have come in for Sambo Anguissa to stay out since it wasn't one of those that would take the early part of the penalty. So I think Chupomoting was supposed to have come in place of Sambo Anguissa because Sambo Anguissa wasn't productive as far as this game is concerned. He hasn't even played the whole competition. So there are a lot of things because at the level of the game, we have already silenced the Egyptians. The
Mm.
Egyptians from the starting, we saw Abubakar Ben Sang in the 7th minute, his header being denied by the woodwork.
Yeah.
That was supposed to have been a goal. You saw us squandering chances. You saw you have Gandu. There's a chance that Gandu squandered. That we have situations to score. We weren't clinical, and when we started showing those signs of not being clinical in the first half, I knew that things were going to change. I knew that the
Mm.
table was going to turn around, and that's what happened. The Egyptians they weren't like they weren't like in a haste to see that they play. They were taking their time, spending a lot of time, like not in the haste, which really cost us a lot because when we're dominating a game, we're supposed to keep on. But from the minute they substitute Mulinga Manu, things started going the wrong way. Things started going the wrong
Mm.
way. And then you have the coach again to come and allow Zambo and Gisa that has not been productive. Removing the other two defensive midfielders that were playing behind him. That's when the game turned to something else. And they like you would have said, okay, yeah, the coach is like doing something. Maybe he's preparing for the penalties. What did they do with the penalties? Look at the situation of the
Mm.
penalties. Look at the situation
Mm.
of penalties. Playing at home and you're unable to score three penalties. Then where are we going to? So I think it was really a lot of questions need to be answered. But looking at the game style, look at the way they played. I think we played the Egyptians when the Egyptians themselves would testify that the better side was beaten because we put on a very good show. Even the fans were very very happy. But apart from the second segment of the game that the Egyptians started
Yeah,
playing this,
the
yeah,
second
started,
half really changed. It really
yeah,
changes.
started,
A lot of things were changed. The mode of
yeah.
play, the attacking was. They are trying to. I think they try to contain you. Or Larry, what
Yeah.
do you think?
And if you
Yeah.
look at that period,
Go ahead,
yeah,
Boogie.
if you look at that period, you discover that we had counter attacks that we could have made something out of it. But there was one that Zambo and Gisa decided to come back instead
Yeah,
of going in front. There was another one that Vaso Box should have gone in front. People were expecting to go in front, but he decided to come back and like
come.
they
Yeah.
almost caught us in that one. We also have
Mm.
Jay Clinton in a situation that many were expecting to like do his skills, do those skills, those technical skills. They couldn't do them, and at the end we were caught one thing. So I think a lot of things are really a lot of things. And then you look also at the level of the penalties. I think Onana didn't help us at all. Onana did not help us at all at the level of the penalties because even to go after one of those penalties, he couldn't even go after one. Because at times there's some stations that you say, yeah, like you'll say in a football parlance, you can never catch a goal. Yeah, which is true. But Onana never even followed any of those penalties. And I
Yeah.
asked myself if truly these guys were scoring, would Onana have done a magic? No. And looking also at someone like Jay Clinton. Jay Clinton, many have questioned his coming to the team. Many
Yeah.
have questioned his
Man, yeah.
performance. Many have questioned his performance. They were expecting him that with this opportunity, he would have been the one to use it to redeem his name. Benji was not able to do that. Look at the way he took the penalty. The same way he took the penalty with a lot of laxity. That was the same way he took the face-to-face situation against the goalkeeper of Gambia. That was the same way that he tried to take the ball by the goalkeeper stopped it in a very relaxed manner, as if they are just like in a training session, like just playing for I don't know how I can put it. But those are some of the stations that I they are really worrisome. And I think many of them supporters will not take it lightly. I just pray that supporters should just understand that it is football, because
Yeah.
we look at the tension today. Wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Imagine failing to score two penalties and your supporters walking away from home. Yeah, it tells a lot. It tells you that there's so much that needs to be done. But in all, in the 90 minutes of play, even including the extra time, the Lions they put on a formidable show. Yeah, they put on a formidable show. I think that's one of their best games that they have played.
All right. Larry, I think we lost him there. So Larry,
No,
can you?
you did not lose me, man. You did not lose me. I'm here. Why are you trying to lose me?
No, I said we lost Basil there. At least we are all
Oh
neighbors.
yeah,
Let's try.
because
Yeah.
you have this game day thing in
No,
front of the screen. Take this game day thing off the screen, Remy. We are not supposed to take it.
seriously, so I think
Yeah,
a lot still
take
needs to
off
be
the
done. We need so much.
game day match review. Take it off the screen.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I'm
It's blocking
trying.
his screen. So I think the Egyptians on their part, they have really improved,
Is
because
it
if you
okay
look at
now?
the get, I asked myself, I think no Tolu has had a wonderful game today. Imagine him silencing a prolific player like Mohamed Salah. He had a terrific game. He had a wonderful game today. You also
Did
look
he?
at someone like Ty Collins. Ty Collins was superb. These are players that put on a formidable show today as far as the game was concerned. Kuminga Malo also was very superb. You have Joan Castelletto, who was wonderful. And when he came out with that injury, things started being shaky in their backline. So I
Exactly.
think so much. It wasn't a bad game, but it was just a
Yeah.
bad day.
So Larry,
But
Well,
over to you.
yeah, I think like they say, a lion is never dead. A lion is just sleeping. So I think Cameroon will come back full.
Consolation. It's all right. It happens to Nigeria sometimes ago.
Not
We
consolation.
accepted.
Nigeria happen.
My neighbor. So
Well,
what's going on now? Back to you, my neighbor. Yeah,
all
we are
right. All
friends.
right. Yeah, just like Basil said, just like Basil said, I will implore Cameroonians not to be hard on the players. They gave in their best. They put up a formidable show. They played well. Like I said earlier, they played well. They played well. And I really don't discount any team when they go to penalties.
Mm,
And to be honest with you, this is a good game. The game today was a good game. It was a very, very good game. We saw Cameroon bring out its prowess. In fact, they dominated Egypt in and out. They dominated Egypt. It's just an unfortunate situation that in a game like this at the semifinals, one team must win and one team must lose. So it is not a thing. And I said before, it was a technical win.
mm.
The winning for the Egyptians was technical. It was won by the coach. It was won from the bench. It was one. In fact, they contained They contained Cameroon from the bench. They understood exactly what they wanted, and they went for it. They played for it. They played for it. And like Basil said, Nuhu was like the man of the match today. He was the man of the match today. He contained Mo Salah from in,
From
out, front,
beginning,
back.
yes, it was
Yes, Mo Salah didn't
outstanding.
make any successful run like
Yeah,
his usual play style was because
absolutely.
Nuhu contained him. Now, and then Five Collins was, dependable five all the time. He had an excellent game today. Trezeguet lost in the game today because of Five Collins. And from that left hand, they even came into the middle of the field. And the one thing that I saw these guys do was that they were a little scared to go forward. They did not take the ball forward a lot. There were a lot of playing in the back and everything. We need swift midfielders. Midfielders that have a prolific forward thinking.
I think Basil is trying to hook up with one journalist as well there.
Yeah, I think he
Can
will
he
introduce
introduce?
himself,
All right,
and if you have
all
any
right.
questions, you can ask him.
Can
Okay.
you take off that thing on the screen here? It's blocking. We cannot see. The viewers cannot see what is going on.
What about this?
You there? It's on the game day. Game day is on the screen now.
What about this?
Good night.
All right. Okay. Larry, can you ask him? We have a new guy here. Could you please introduce yourself, sir?
Yes. Can you
My
introduce
name is
yourself?
Sonny
Tell us your name
Armstrong.
and tell us which journalistic paper what paper you represent or if the radio you
Yes, my name is Sonny Armstrong. I'm a football analyst and a freelance journalist in Cameroon.
All right. Fantastic. Pleased to have you, bro.
Thank you.
to have good to have you, man. Take heart. It's been a catastrophic day for us, but like I said, it's what it is. Uh, so tell us, what is your impression about the game?
I think Egypt, Egypt's game plan worked out well because they came into the game not really willing to play. They just had to manage through the game. And I'm sure it's because they had been already through two games, 120 minutes. So they could contain Cameroonians from the first to the 120th minute, knowing that their goalkeeper is very good on penalties.
Mm.
Cameroon already hit the bar twice during the game, and the substitutions done by the coach did not really carry out any impact on the game. While the substitutions by Egypt could easily lock up Cameroon's game. You could discover that from the 60th minute right into extra time, Cameroon could not really develop any game plan again because the Egyptians were already knew that their game plan was penalties, and they had a very good goalkeeper, Gabaski, in goal.
Wow. Well,
And just to add to that the Cameroon game plan was supposed to win. The wings like five those on the side and that they blocked the two sides. It's extra defenders on both sides. So the crosses did not come in as they used to come. The crosses did not come in normally as we get it. If you look at the game, we scored many through crosses from the right wing from Five Collins and a few from the slide. And now because opposing them because our midfield that supply the approach attack in the middle was wanting. Because we could not so try to power out. So what then do you think that needs to be done? Or let me ask you this before I go to that. Do you think that the coach actually mastered this game today, Contra South?
No, the coach did not master this game at all because we could see it from after the 30th minute of the game because Egypt's coach he gets his he's nicknamed the professor because he reads the game very well. Uh, even though Carlos Queiroz is called a professor, I like to call him a student of the game. He read the game very well, and within 30 minutes he could already discover Concesal's play. He could already know that we have flying wingers in Fai Collins and Nuhu Tolo, and we do not have very good distributors of the ball in midfield. As I said, we did not make the right substitutions because it's true that Ongwed was on the yellow card, but when Ongwed was on the pitch, we had a better passing. Once you take out Ongwed and you bring in a player like Siliki, it isn't working at all. Then now, it's true that Castelletto went out on injury. You could
Mm.
see that Haram Mukudi did not bring anything into the game. Instead of playing, he was just kicking the ball out, always kicking the ball out. And I've always said something: if you have two standing defenders, that is, if you have two defenders who can't really run in Garden Gandhi and Haram Mukudi, it can't really work. You could see that from the 30th minute upward, Cameroon could not really put two passes together. And so long as you cannot put two passes together, that is all. And Egypt was trying at each time to process through counter attack. Thank God that Onana could save even at one point when Hongla gave a bad back pass.
Yeah.
But now, coming into the game itself, you could see that Contessao had no reading at all. You know, Carlos Queiroz could completely twist the game in any direction he wanted. And even when Carlos Queiroz was sent out, when was sent off on the red card, I thought that at that point the Egyptians could break down. No, but it showed that the Egyptian team had a stronger mentality than the Cameroonian team, and it is that stronger mentality that took them into penalties and made them to win.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
And
I think
time, we saw that Cameroonians started panicking. They started panicking. They were just kicking the ball anyhow. They were just sending the balls away, balls that they could hold and make a clear cut passes. They were just putting it in the bush because there was a lot of pressure and panic in their side, and that was not good. And it gave the Egyptians confidence. The Pharaohs were confident at that point. So tell me, um, I know that Cameroonians don't, we don't accept defeat,
yeah.
irrespective of, we don't accept defeat. But do you think the Cameroonian public will be able to contain this and act and say, "Oh, we tried. We did. We at least the players giving their best and not react negatively to the players."
Already from the last 10 minutes of the game, the fans were frustrated. You
Mm.
could see, and when we got into the second half, I can tell you that from the second half to the end of the 120 minutes, it was the Egyptians, they were the Egyptians singing in the pitch. The 900 fans against the maybe 23,000 Cameroonians. They were singing louder than Cameroonians. You could
Wow.
feel the tension on the pitch. And Yaoundé this night is very, 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 very quiet. And I'm sure it goes throughout the national triangle of Cameroon because there was a general saying that we host to win. But now in this game, it was dead. Cameroonians were really frustrated. You could see them shouting at players because the players weren't really producing any game. So the fans were really frustrated. You could see fans shouting and gesticulating towards the technical bench. You could even hear at one point fans were even shouting and calling for a player like Chupomutin to be introduced. I don't know why the
Wow.
coach didn't introduce him. Certainly, the coach has his job, and fans have their role as fans. But now, as the coach made substitutions continuously, that is how the fans were frustrated. Also, you could see the fans speak out in anger at each time there was a substitution. The only substitution that people actually clapped for was Christian Basokok. The rest, everybody was complaining about it. And at some point, because I was doing a live update on Twitter, I almost had to ask that why, instead of fans being frustrated, I think if fans had pushed the Lions, they would have played a little better. But especially during the prolongations, fans were frustrated and they were not really behind the Lions at that moment.
I see. I see, because I think they, you know, from the TV, they were booing at some point, they booed the ref, booed the Cameroonian players at some point. I mean, I heard that there were like 1,000 new supporters that came in from Egypt, and they inundated one part of the stadium. But then, we have, if there were just 1,000, the stadium is a 60,000 capacity. You had maybe 50 more thousand that was occupied by Cameroonians. What were the Cameroonian supporters, apart from the fans that just came? They have a supporters club or anything. What were they doing? Why were they? I mean, they are not chant whether they win or not. Why were they not chanting loud enough to be able to support the Lions? Were they frustrated or something?
Just to give us the full statistics, we had 24,271 fans today at the Olembe Stadium. That's for official statistics from the organizers, that's CAF. Which means that we had 23,000 Cameroonians who were there and they were supposed to acclaim the Lions. But if you could watch the game against Gambia in Douala, it was completely different. In Douala, the fans were for the Lions from the warm up right up to the 90th minute. But in Yaoundé, once the game plan wasn't working out well, fans backed out. The fans left the Lions to themselves. And even when the Lions were going up to kick their penalties, I thought that the fans could acclaim for the players. You could, even if a player is not really motivated, when he's going in to kick a penalty, if you clap for him, he's extra motivated. But you could, during the penalty, you could actually, and one thing again is that the penalties were played towards the area where the Egyptian fans were concentrated. So I think at that point, the Egyptian fans actually won over, and the fans out here in Yaoundé did not help the Indomitable Lions at all.
I see.
So, so we will somewhere to react. Because we saw him at some point of the game. He was praying for the team. His hands were there. He was praying, mercilessly. He was frustrated at all points. Do you think he will do something to be able to help the team through this difficult period?
Uh, the best thing he can do now is motivate the players and make them at least get the third place classification game. Then one thing again, think the competitions are coming in thick and fast, and we already need to prepare for the game against Algeria, the World Cup qualifiers. So we need to remotivate these players, make them come into the spirit of football, and set them aright for the next competitions. We don't need to condemn them now. We need to go out and work out with a very good strategy. Remember, Algeria was knocked out in the first round of this Africa competition, so they want to revamp their football with the World Cup qualifiers, and Cameroon might just be the victim. But we don't want Cameroon to be the victim. We want to work harder, play against Algeria, beat them here very well, and defend the victory over in Algeria.
Wow, fantastic.
Thank you so much for the
Thank you so
analysis,
much.
and I think that's the way forward. We have a third place, which will be on Saturday, one day for them to rest, recuperate, revamp their morals, come back to their winning prowess, and then Saturday they play Burkina Faso, which will not be easy. Burkina Faso they've had at least 2 days to rest, or 3 days. We just played 2 hours of soccer, 120 minutes of soccer, and then they have rested. So these players need enough motivation and enough rest to be able to take at least a third place, that they do not lose everything in the competition that they hosted. So I think it makes sense for them to go put this game behind them right now, put it behind them right now. excuse me, and face the coming games head on. It's 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 what it is. We accept that the Egyptians have gone forward. The Egyptians have gone forward. It's a
Yeah.
three for Egypt, one for Cameroon on penalties after a 0-0 tie during the normal play time. And so Cameroon is eliminated from the competition as they hosted, but they have a chance to back in a third place,
Top
and
place.
it is for them to do it. So, Mr. Yemi, we are not on the same page.
All right. Thank you, Larry. It's a sad one for the Cameroonians, and congratulations to the Egyptians. At least it is what it is. Salah versus
Hey,
Mane in the
hey,
final.
Silas, if you are watching, Silas, if you are watching, if you have been here now, I know you are happy. I don't have your time. I don't have your time, Silas. I don't have your time.
All right, my friend. Tomorrow is our it's going to be our debate day. Friday debate show. So we're looking out for. I think it's going to be the first. I mean, the best 11 players in this tournament. Let's go for right from the goalkeeper, the best goalkeeper, the right back, the the center backs, both of them, and the left back, the midfield, the striker. So we want to do a combined the best 11 throughout this competition. So, what do you think about that?
No, it makes sense. Um, it makes sense, and yeah, we can do that. It makes sense
Abs-
for us to come up with a comprehensive AFCON team,
Yeah,
and so that we'll be able to fish out those who have done well.
yeah, absolutely. All right, Larry. So, it's good to be back. It's good to be back, and it's good to be back. Thank you so much,
My name
Larry.
is Larry Man. My name is Larry Mane. Go Senegal, go Senegal, go Senegal.
All right, Larry. See
All
you
right.
tomorrow, man. See you tomorrow. All right, one love, bro. All right. Thank you very much, viewers. We come to the end of the show. Please, if you're watching this for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. And after subscribing, put the likes on the button, smash it, and also share it to our friends. It's all about AFCON 2021. Shout out to all those the journalists from Cameroon. Thank you I mean, for coming up to this program, saying one or two things. Thank you so much, everybody. Until same time tomorrow, it won't be the same time. It's gonna be around my time. Here will be around one. Then we'll come back online for the Friday debate show. All right. Tomorrow we'll be here by God's willing, so we can do many things. Thank you so much, viewers. We appreciate you. Please, please, please subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Thank you so much, and have a good night rest. Bye for now.